The No BS Nutrition Kickstart begins on Monday, the 2nd of January. In this video, I'm going to talk about what the Kickstart is, why we do it, and how to get the most out of it. First of all, what is the No BS Kickstart? Very simply, it's no booze, no sugar for 28 days, starting Monday the 2nd of January, finishing Sunday the 29th of January. As we do with our CrossFit workouts, this Kickstart is scalable. If you have completed the No Booze, No Sugar Kickstart before, and you want to take it up a notch, you can gain extra points by restricting yourself from man-made starches, bread, pasta, etc. Additionally, you can get another bonus point from avoiding all processed foods. There is an extensive list on the challenges page of the Boxmate app if you want details exactly of what you can and cannot consume during this time. But I'm going to cover a couple of the things that people are always unsure about. Dairy is acceptable, hard cheeses, milk and yogurt. In addition, protein shakes are acceptable. The main reason for that is that some people may struggle to consume enough protein to maximize their performance during the Kickstart. And it's just easier to allow that so that people can consume enough protein. I don't want people being depleted in their protein intake during the Kickstart. Protein bars are not acceptable. They are a processed food. They are much more heavily processed than whey powder or soy protein powder. Fruit is always acceptable in its whole form. Dried fruit, no, because you're taking out all the water and you're deeply concentrating the sugar to make it into Haribo. Fruit juice is the same, but you're taking out the fiber. Again, it's not in its natural state. Otherwise, please check the challenges page for more details. If you're unsure about something, generally it means you shouldn't be having it. But if you are really seriously unsure, then please drop me a message and I can answer your question. Why do we do it? We do all of our Kickstarts because nutrition is the foundation of CrossFit. It is the most important part of CrossFit. I know you may think it's how good you can clean the barbell or have you got a muscle up or how many burpees can you do in 7 minutes. No, the thing that makes the biggest difference with your health and fitness is your nutrition, which is why we do it. And this Kickstart in particular mirrors the principle of the first sentence of CrossFit's Fitness in 100 Words. That sentence is eat meat and vegetables, nuts and seeds, some fruit, little starch, and no sugar. Vegans and vegetarians can replace meat with protein. But at its principle, that is where we are going to get the biggest bang for our buck. Most health issues, obesity, and other health issues come from overconsumption of sugar, of heavily processed foods, and of alcohol. If we can remove those from our diet, then we are going to move the needle much closer towards fitness, which is what we want. I will go into more detail, but I don't want to drag this video on for too long. But basically, if we can eat whole foods in their natural state and build habits which at the end of this Kickstart we can take forward. We're not looking to get 100% perfect with our diet all the time, but the closer we can get in this Kickstart, and if we can take 80% of those good habits forward, that is going to move the needle a long way for a lot of people. Some strategies as to how we can do our best in this Kickstart. Well, before you start, make sure you track your body metrics. We've got an InBody here. That is a very expensive piece of kit that will tell you accurately your lean body mass, how much muscle you have, how much fat you have, and you can track your changes over those 28 days. And we should see some changes if you apply these principles well. Once you've got that data, to move forward with this Kickstart well, you have to be prepared. As always with your diet, being prepared is key. If you just wake up Monday and you think, oh, I'm going to cut out booze and sugar, and you look in your fridge and all you've got is a 12-pack of Kit Kats and a pint of milk, you're going to struggle to find a decent meal there. Yeah, you can drink some milk, but you're not going to be able to eat anything else. You must have a plan in place as to what you're going to do for your meals next week. Ideally, we're always going to be planning our meals in advance and our snacks, and stick to those principles throughout our weekly shop and our weekly consumption of food. But that's not always the case. But in this case, we want to be there. So think about foods that you like that are acceptable on that list. Stock up on those. Don't have to go into, all the foods we don't like. Find foods that you like and stick with those for the first week. And add other stuff in as the week goes on. But make sure you are going to be consuming enough calories, enough protein to get you through each day. If you haven't done so already and you're not sure about how many calories and what you need to be consuming, there are great apps around where you can track your food. MyFitnessPal is the one I recommend because it's got the largest database of food. Use that to plan ahead. You can input your food in advance. You can get an idea of whether you're going to have enough calories, enough protein. And if you don't, you can amend it and make sure you have that in place. If you have never removed sugar from your diet before, and you are somewhat reliant on sugar or processed foods, or carbs in that case, bread, pasta, those things, be prepared for the first week to be pretty crap. There is something that we have, or has been labeled keto flu. It is purely your body's transition from eating a high sugar diet to a low sugar diet. Let's keep it simple as that. But what happens is somewhat of a cold turkey experience in which you experience flu-like symptoms. You feel lethargic, you get headaches. Basically, you will just feel like you've been hit with a virus, but it's actually just the fact that you're coming down off sugar. If any of you watch any of the Netflix documentaries on sugar, the Sugar Film, and there's a few other ones, you will see an over-dramatized and over-exaggerated reference to how our body is affected by sugar. But it definitely has a point, and you will experience that if you are reliant on sugar. Those of you who've done this before, you can definitely relate this experience to those people that are currently going through it, and it will help them to know that it's a normal experience, and it just highlights how reliant you are on these poorer food choices. But just be prepared for that. Make sure you've got lots of, if you are a sugar, you need something sweet, you have some fruit to replace that sweetness that maybe you need on a daily basis. If it is your first time doing this Kickstart, maybe don't jump to the no booze, no sugar, no bread, no processed food. That is a big step to take. Cut out one thing at a time, okay? The scaled version of it will be to cut out either booze or sugar. The next scale up would be to cut out booze and sugar, and then you can take it level. But yeah, if you've never done this before, just take out booze and sugar. I should have said earlier, the sugar limit is, if you're looking at a packet of food, so if you are eating processed food and you're obviously looking at that packet of food, 10 grams per 100 grams, less than 10 grams per 100 grams. So it's got 9.9 grams of sugar per 100 grams. That's what you're looking at per 100 grams, not per serving, per 100 grams. Then it is acceptable. If it's got 10 grams of sugar per 100 grams or more, it is unacceptable for this Kickstart. I did change that a few years ago because it used to be 5 grams, and that was incredibly difficult. If you look at any foods that you buy that are processed, they've all got at least 5 grams. So 10% sugar, which is still quite a large amount of sugar in there, okay, is our limit. Below that is fine. Above that is too much. I'm going to stop the video there because it's 10 minutes, and that should be enough for most of you. I will break it down for some Instagram reels to get some little snippets for you. Hopefully that will help. Please, if you've got any questions or comments, or you want me to make a video on anything else regarding this Kickstart, I will be happy to help. Remember, 28 days, 2nd of January to the 29th, and this is great preparation for the CrossFit Open, which will start 2 weeks or so after the Kickstart ends. It's going to get your body fueled properly and hopefully get your body composition leaner, so you're a more lean, mean machine ready to smash that CrossFit Open. All right, Monday's when it starts. Let's go.